everybody, welcome back to another video. That's right, it's the T on MPD and relationships. Hello everyone, to all of my new subscribers and new family members. Hello, hi, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video. Family, you know I'm always asking y'all to do what? Hit that like button, hit that like button. I'm always asking y'all to hit that like button, right? So thank you to those of you that have hit the like button. And for those of you that want to become a part of this community, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like the content, okay? Also, too, share the content. Share the videos, okay? If you know, even share it to your platform if you have one. So we can continue to bring awareness to this horrible type of abuse, okay? Also, for those of you that would love to have a hand copy autograph signed and autographed by yours truly of the book Seduced by Satan, please email me at the email listed in the description below. All right, the T on MPD coaching. In the subject line, you're going to reference the book. Okay, and I will get back with you. We will get back with you with payment information. Take your address so we can get you a signed copy of the book. All right, listen, it's a showstopper. It's a jaw dropper. Listen. It is a page turner. Clench my pearls. Yes, it's that. All right, so you want to get your copy today. All right, y'all. Listen, also, for those of you that are in need of a life coach, please email me at the T on MPD coaching as well. You're going to put coaching in the subject line, and we will get back with you with availability and also pricing as well. If you would love to support the channel of course, seed into this work that we're doing in this community, you may do so by the methods below. There's PayPal, there is Venmo, there is, I believe, also Cash App, I think, and Zelle. All right. So please reference the information below. And I appreciate all of you all that support the channel, whether you're hitting the like button. I really do appreciate it. If you're sewing into this channel as well, thank you so much. And God bless you all. All right, y'all, let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to talk about the fact that when a narcissist is actually hoovering and they're smear campaigning at the same time, but they have a new supply. What's going on in that dynamic? Okay, I want to talk about it. I want to break it apart because many of you, may not realize what's actually happening in that dynamic. It's a lot going on. It really is. But it happens a lot of times. People don't always talk about it because it is very stressful to go through a smear campaign. But I'm gonna show you the dynamic and actually how we get into that space of being hoovered by them, and then smear campaigning, and also while they are, in a bona fide situation with a new supply. So we're going to talk about it in this video. So what happens is, okay, so whenever the narcissist has basically either discarded you or you've discarded the narcissist, it is a bad time. And y'all know, I'm going to tell y'all something. Sometimes y'all don't believe this, but I'm going to be real honest with you. The discard is not a thing where the narcissist is just, they're feeling so good, so confident after the discard. Narcissists become very anxious a lot of times during the discard, simply because they don't know, especially if it's a new supply, someone that they've never or they don't have history with. Sometimes they will, they don't know what it's going to be like. They don't know if they're going to have to backtrack and come back to you. They don't understand, there are a lot of components that they may not know about in that dynamic. So yes, they are going to have some anxiety. Narcissists are anxious by design because they lie so much and they always doing something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, stop the press. Y'all always doing something, some mischief and all of this old kind of crap that they got going on all the time, fam. So that being said, let's talk about what happens in this dynamic. So the narcissist is with the new supply. Excuse me. And you've probably gotten wind, maybe from the flying monkeys. They might have said something, you know, or the narcissist might have said something to them. So they probably said something to them. And you're thinking, okay, when they come back and say something to you, okay, why is the narcissist talking to them about whatever? You know, the relationship is over, you know, and they're coming back, and some of the flying monkeys might get back to you and say, hey, what happened, you know, to you and so. Because initially the narcissist is not smear campaigning. You know, they're just simply saying, hey, you know, it was a breakup. You know, I'm feeling pretty sad about it, whatever. You know, that's because they always have to make themselves look like the victim. Okay, now, here's the thing in the whole situation. Listen here. Baby, let me tell you something. The narcissist absolutely is going to always make themselves look like the victim. Yeah, they are. Okay? And for that reason, this is why you have to look at it like, okay, here's the Hoover, and then you got the smear campaign. But they're with the new supply. What's going on in that dynamic? They're making themselves look like the victim to all of the flying monkeys and everybody around. Okay, we know that. So in making themselves look like the victim, they also need to stir the pot with the fact that, you know, I hope that there could be some reconciliation, you know, because it didn't have to be like this. You know, I really love that person, or the narcissist is saying they really love you, they really care about you, whatever. Well, you know, it's a lie. And the people around them are they want to believe them. And they usually do get the buy-in from the flying monkeys and all of that. They will. Here's the deal. They don't know that the narcissist is lying. They don't know how abusive the narcissist is, because these birds live a life of duality. They do. And so the life that they live out in public in front of everybody else, baby, that is not how they live behind closed doors with you. Sure wasn't how they lived behind closed doors with me either. So you got to just follow me right here. So this is happening. This is the first stage. They are talking to the flying monkeys. The flying monkeys are coming back talking to you saying, hey, is there any way y'all can reconcile? You know, the person is feeling X, Y, and Z, whatever. Now, of course, they don't know that the narcissist might have been having inappropriate conversation with someone else who is now the new supply. Now, this is during a time where the new supply is usually still hidden. They don't know. Nobody really knows about the new supply. But you have evidence. You know what's going on. You not really wanting to engage. You're like, I'm going to hold back the evidence. I'm not going to say anything. Now, some of y'all did. I mean, drop a comment below if your situation was like this. Okay? Because this is a dynamic that you rarely see talked about, but it actually happens. Okay? So now the flying monkeys are saying, hey, you know, is there any chance that you guys may be able to reconcile? This person is really not feeling cool about what happened. You know, if for nothing else, you guys had a great relationship out in public. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. You know, they're like, you had a great relationship. Why can't y'all be friends? You know, they're trying to advocate for the narcissist. They don't know all of the crap that you had to go through, the gaslighting, you know, the blame shifting, the double bind, meaning you danged if you do, you danged if you don't. I mean, these backwards walking giraffes, they're not going to tell all of that. Nobody really knows that aspect of them and how abusive they are but the family. So these are people outside of the family, you know, so they're having their conversation with you and they're talking. And so they're trying to get information too, so they can feed it back to the narcissist. But you're just like, well, you know, things didn't go well. And you're listening to everything that the flying monkeys are telling you. You know, if you had conversation with them, I wouldn't recommend having conversation with them, because you already know that their viewpoint is already going to be skewed. If they're talking to the narcissist, you already know what time it is. They're going to believe everything that they're saying. Okay? So why would you want to talk to somebody like that? All right, let's keep it moving. So Now we're sitting here looking, and we're now looking at the whole thing. And so the narcissist is hoovering you, not just by word of the flying monkeys, but they're now actively trying to get in touch with you. Okay, you've blocked their number. You've blocked them on text messages. Maybe you've gone, you've taken down your social media. You're just like, I'm just going to go incognito. Don't nobody know where I am, what I'm doing. So the narcissist is now trying to call you from private numbers, all of this kind of stuff, right? What happens? What happens in a situation like that? Well, here's the deal. Whenever they start trying to call you and hoover you, and they're trying to get in touch with you, and you just basically like, nah, I'm not trying to hear any of that. I mean, why do I have to? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to respond to any of that, because you already know what it is. You already know what it is. I mean, at this point, y'all probably have broken up a couple times, maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times. So you know the whole routine of how they do things. So now you just sitting there like, okay, let's just see how this goes. So they're hoovering. You already know that if they're sending word back through the flying monkeys, you already know what time it is. All right. Yeah, so you're saying, no, you're not about to get through like that ever again. Okay? I'm not falling for it. No, this is not how this is not going to be how it was before. So you just decide, no, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to respond to you. I don't care how many flying monkeys you have coming over here. I don't care. I don't. Because this bird has really just burnt that bridge. Okay? And you're just sick of it. All right. They tried to hoover. They tried to get you in a more diplomatic way. Now, because you won't answer the hoover, because you won't give in to what they want, now you got to pay. Oh, yeah, you got to pay now. Because the narcissist sees it like this. Even though they have a new supply, and you know they do, to save face in front of everybody, because you know their image is everything. They're always doing what we call image management. Okay? They got to manage their image, right? You won't answer that smear campaign. You ain't gonna say nothing to them. You know, you like, this bird they could text me, or if they're blocked, they could try to call me from any type of number they want to. I'm not answering those numbers, and I'm not having anything else to say or do with this person, because guess what? I don't desire to be hurt again. All right. So now you have made the narcissist resort to another measure. This is when they're going to take it up a notch. Now they're going to start a smear campaign. They're going to go right back to those flying monkeys. They're going to tell those flying monkeys all types of lies about you. Oh, they weren't kind to me. They were disrespectful, screaming and yelling at me. What I need y'all to understand is that the smear campaign is also a confession campaign. They're only confessing to those people that will listen what they are actually doing. Okay? What they are actually doing, or what they did do to you in the relationship. That's all. That's all it is. But the hoover is step 1. When you won't comply with that hoover, even though you know that they were messing around behind your back, they haven't revealed that new supply to anybody else. So this is so wicked, y'all. It's so wicked, because because when now they're telling the flying monkeys you're doing all of this. If you try to come back and say, oh, well, the narcissist had somebody else. I mean, you can be bringing receipts. The narcissist said, that's not a lie. That is a lie. That wasn't me. That was them. What you think the flying monkey's gonna do? Because their view is already skewed. But they tried to get you through the hoover, and now you won't do anything. You won't answer their calls. Now they're gonna tell all kinds of lies on you in the smear campaign. And a lot of you, that smear campaign got you. I mean, it was a sucker punch. At that point, you weren't going to respond to the hoover, but they told such hideous lies in that whole dynamic of the smear campaign, you just decided, you know what, I'm gonna have to address this. You called up that narcissist. Boom, there it was right there. That's exactly what they wanted. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they wanted. But watch this wickedness right here. Whenever you called them up and you told them, why are you saying so-and-so about me and blah, 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 the narcissist said, I didn't say that. Because these people are coming back telling you this is what the narcissist said. The narcissist said, I didn't say that. Gaslight you all over again. Wicked. Wicked. These birds are wicked, y'all. But this is what they will do. They will actually use that smear campaign to loop you right back into it. I mean, they tell you it's such a convincing no that they didn't say that to these people. Then they start saying to you, why did it have to be like this? Now they start with the manipulation. If you are not strong enough to handle that, don't you call them back. I'm going to tell you something. Don't let that smear campaign be the reason that you rope back into the situation. Don't you call them. Don't you say anything. Let them say whatever they want. Baby, the life you live will tell the story that you give each and every day. That means whatever you do each and every day. Okay, your integrity, all of that is going to be, it's going to be indicative of your walk each and every day. If you on social media, these people going to be looking at what you posting. You ain't posting nothing trying to deceive anybody, be all of that craziness and everything they got going on. They'll see the life that you live by the story that you give through your life each and every day. Your character, your integrity, that's something that the narcissist doesn't have. But yeah, they'll do these things at the same time. Okay, so family, I hope this helps. Y'all be real good to yourselves, all right? And I will see you all on the next video, fam. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.